Hi there, I'm Catherine Marshall, and I'd like to introduce you to our fairly new addition to the range, and it is our Riesling. And this I started to make back in 2016 on a very experimental basis, having never worked with the grape before, but decided that it would be a really great addition to our range, and so was inspired very much by tasting quite a few of the famous German wines from this variety. So it was really an extraordinary journey for me, given that we are a very warm climate in South Africa, and Riesling actually likes to be grown in very, very cold conditions, which is why the famous wines of Germany do so well there, because it's a very cold area. And also they have pretty interesting soil types there. So I had to find sites that could do the business, really. And so once I'd set upon two sites in Elgin, which is probably one of the coldest areas in warm South Africa, and one is on a beautiful site called the Kogelberg Biosphere, and then the other one is on the other side of the valley. So I've got two very, very different styles, and blended together I think they make a very complex, interesting wine. So really the style that I have decided to embark on is the Walz or the Mosel style, which is more north of Germany, and there the wines are pretty, and they're grown on red slate soils, and we have quite slaty soils on the one site, which inspired me to go that style. And on the other side it's more sort of deep clay, sort of crumbly clay. So we get two quite different expressions of these grapes in the two separate tanks before I actually combine them together at the end. So Riesling is known as an Eskimo variety, as I said, and requires very cold weather, as cold as you can get it, and also cold in the making. So you can see I'm standing here behind some stainless steel tanks. And this is generally the way to go for Riesling, to keep it clean and pristine and pretty much like a very athletic stallion ready to bolt out of the boxes on a horse race. So this is what the Riesling reminds me of. It's very chiseled and very fragrant and very fresh. And so we need the cold for that, because if you have warm climate Rieslings, you end up with flabby wines. So Riesling is all about racy acidity and bright, fresh, crisp, citrusy kind of expression. Topped on top of that, I like the kind of the white flower, the beeswax, and also some kind of citrus blossoms as well that you can get from Riesling. The other compounds which are very, very forthcoming in the Riesling grape is the diesel compounds, or the kerosene lamp oil. So what we do to minimize that is to keep the leaves on over the bunches. A lot of people tend to remove them because Riesling can tend to rot very easily because it has thin skins. However, I prefer to keep the leaves on so that I don't draw on those diesel compounds or kerosene lamp compounds. And then what we do is we actually sort the rot at the sorting tables, and that for me really does work very well. Yes, we lose a lot on the sorting tables, but I'd rather that we have the fruit forward rather than the kerosene lamp forward. So because it has really great acidity, Riesling can really last for quite a while in the bottle, and I really like to drink Riesling slightly older. So don't be afraid to keep it in your cellar for a few years at optimal conditions, and then pour a few years later, or you can drink it fresh if you like that kind of style. It's that sort of lemon sorbet brightness. Best suited with again Asian fare. I love it with sushi, but you can do anything that's got kind of a fatty kind of character. So because it has that great acidity to back up all of that kind of fattiness. So enjoy, and really, really, really fun being an experimental wine.